Today we are going to discuss about administrative management theory. So prior to that we will discuss about what is management. Management is discussed by different people in different views. Generally speaking, management is the art of getting things by others. Some other people formally used to be tell that management is the process of planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. So here these five things, that means planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling, are also called as functions of management. So likewise, different people used to be defined, used to be delivered about the management in different approaches. If you come towards the history of the management, olden days, that means earlier to the modern management, scientific management was there. The scientific management was developed by the F.W. Taylor. So he has implemented lot of scientific approaches in the management. Then he is termed as father of scientific management. Later, F.W. the modern management theory person, that is here father of management, Henry Foyle, has expressed the mainstream of the management. That means prior to a modern management theory, that means administrative theory, there were no departments. But he suggested that management, in the sense, the departments will be there nowadays. So we can see that production department, marketing, finance, HR department, likewise departments are there. So these departments he has specified because these are the main structure of the organization. Next to that, he has specified about the 14 principles for running the successfully organization without any disturbances. So here today we are going to discuss about these two things. One is how he has divided the departments and which type of principles he has suggested for the modern organizations to run their organizations. Here, administrative management theory is developed by the Henry Foyle. That's why he is popularly called as father of modern management. Next to that, he has analyzed the department process and divided the activities of an industrial undertaking into 6 parts. That means initially, that means Henry Foyle has divided the entire departments. Firstly, technical activities. Second one, commercial activities. Third one, financial activities. Fourth one, securities activities. Fifth one, accounting activities. And finally, managerial activities. Look at here, technical activities means nowadays these technical activities usually termed as production department. That means all production related activities were treated as the technical activities in his perspective. Commercial activities he has specified nowadays, according to him, commercial activities means purchasing and the selling of products and goods. So nowadays this is called as the marketing departments. But in his he has given that one as the commercial department. Next to that, financial department. Financial activities is to carry. Here according to him, financial department in the sense are how to mobilize the funds from different sources. That means how can we collect funds from various resources are described with the financial department. Nowadays, finance and accounting department has combined, that might be termed as finance and account department, or otherwise only a finance department. So finance department usually handles about the how to mobilize the funds. Next to that here, security activities. Security activities, in his point of view, in the organization, there are, that means the most important valuable assets will be there. So these assets need to be taken care. So taking care in the sense, lot of security, that means people should be exist. Not only the human people who are working for the security of the organization, it also involves the protection of the company. That means like insurance policies or otherwise any other safeguard activities will be taken care by the security department. Next to here, accounting activities. Accounting activities is mainly doing the accounting activities. Accounting activities means collecting, recording, evaluating and analyzing the business day-to-day transactions will be that means access in the accounting department. That means first they will generalize the transactions, then ledger posting will be there, trading account will be there, trail balance, profit and loss account and balance sheet, all activities are involved in the accounting department. Finally, accounting department can tell us how much gross profit a company has that means earned, how much net profit the company has earned. Similarly, what is the financial position of the company? On the basis of that accounting aspects only, financial manager can take the financial decisions later. Nowadays, accounting and financial departments are merged. Last one here, managerial activities. Managerial activities means here recruitment should be happening. After recruitment, that means selection procedure will be there, then induction program will be there, training programs will be there, then development activities will be there. Next to that, employee handling should be there, employee grievances should be there, employee welfare activities will be there. So here, from the recruitment to the employee development, the middle lot of activities will be there. These all the activities are considered under the managerial. This managerial activities are in the human resource department, HR department. So likewise, first initially who divided the departments in the sense, that is the Henry Foyle in his modern management or administrative management theory area. So after that only different organizations are following the different structures with the help of the his outputs. Next to that, now we are going to discuss about the principles of management. Generally, if organization want to run smoothly without any disturbances, there we should have some other principles which need to run smoothly. That principles now we are going to discuss. According to him, 14 principles are there. That means division of work, authority and responsibility, discipline, unity of command, unity of direction, subordination of individual interest, remuneration, centralization, scalar chain, order, equity, stability, initiative, and esprit de corps. Nowadays, most of the organizations are following these 14 principles. So, whoever are following these 14 principles, they are running their organizations very smoothly with fruitful results. So now we will have a glance on one by one. Here, first one here, division of work. So here, okay, one employee is there in the sense that employee work division should be there. So this is the work allotted for you. You should do this work. Likewise, division of work should be there. Second one here, authority and responsibility. So if you allot a particular post, for that post, which type of responsibilities are there, you should clearly specify the particular people. In addition to that, you should delegate the authority also. So by that authority, he need to fulfill his responsibilities. Next to that, here discipline is there. Discipline is most important. So for that purpose, organizations need to prepare some other rules and regulations and policies and guidelines. These policies and guidelines need to direct the workers or employees in the organization. Next point, unity of command. Unity of command means one employee is there, above him 2-3 supervisors are there, so automatically he can't perform his tasks properly. So here only one command should be there for him. Similarly, only one direction should be there. So unity of command one thing and unity of direction one thing. So supervisor, boss should be only one. He should command to him. That means he is the person, he should follow strictly his rules and regulations. Similarly, directions from only one boss should be reached to the worker. Then only, without any disturbances, he can run his activities smoothly. Subordination of individual interest to group interest. Yes, that means generally organization in the sense group of people achieve that means a common goal. So organization goal purpose, we used to recruit the different employees. Then each and every employee used to have their personal interests. So here the manager or management people need to mix the individual interest to the common goal. Whoever succeeded in this process, those people can get fruitful result. Next one here, remuneration. Remuneration in the sense fair salaries or wages need to be provided to the workers. If the management is unable to provide proper salaries or remuneration to the workers, they can't work heartfully. That work can't give fruitful results. Next point here, centralization. Centralization means work might be a decentralization. That means every worker will be there. He has his own responsibilities and authorities. He need to follow the different directions. Though the entire core point, core decision making should be there in the centralized level, right? These centralized person, that means management people, need to hold that centralization power and need to give the directions to the subordinates and effectively need to run. Next to that here, scalar chain. Scalar chain in the sense generally workers used to have some other problems. They want to communicate with the managing director. So directly worker won't go and meet the managing director. First, that worker need to meet his supervisor or foreman. Through that channel, that letter need to reach to the middle level management, that is the either financial manager or marketing manager, HR manager, whichever belongs to that particular area. Next to that, managing director or CEOs. Likewise, one scalar chain need to be developed. Then only the communication process should be in the smoother manner. Next to that, order. Order should be from a unity of things. That means from the top to the middle level management, middle level to the lower level management. So then only all the people can communicate effectively. So next point here, equity point. Equity means all workers are equally important for the organizations. There is no bias, there is no special interest towards a particular employee. Likewise, organization policies need to be constructed. Then only every employee can hold that organization as their organization, then they can run effectively. That. Next here, stability is the most important. Organization should has the stable policies, should have the stable rules and regulations and guidelines. Then only this can be you, that means work as a standard norm. Every people should follow that particular activity. Start. Initiative. So here initiative means organizations need to, that means management need to be in the position of initiation to take change, to take innovation, to accept the truths. Then only that organization can put forward towards the development, towards the social responsibilities. Here last and final point is esprit de corps. Esprit de corps means teamwork. That means one worker compare with the group of workers, group of people can create more result. That means 2 into 2 is equals to 5. That is the one term is there in the synergy. That means 4 people can effectively perform that output like a 5 if they are working as a team, or otherwise if they individually work, the output also might be like a 4 people. So teamwork can provide better output than the individual work. So these are the 14 important principles which are given by the father of modern management, Henry Fayol. His principles are nowadays popularly used by the all the organizations with a bit changes. So we also should be follow his instructions when we are in that particular lead role. Thank you.